myself. I got a little older and put the bottle back on the shelf. I got a little older, I put away those childish things. I got a little older, well, I got a little older.
MaxSpeedTV would like to thank our partners here at MaxSpeedTV, starting with the Colby Eye Paints. If you're in the market for a new paint job for your car, check out Colby's Eye Paints on Facebook. Need a replica paint of your real-life car? Colby's Eye Paints has you covered. Check out Colby Eye Paints on Facebook. Also by Hershy Design. Hershy Design Company is your one-stop graphics shop if you're in need of an iRacing paint, league, team, or business logo, or want the logo on some sweet swag. Hit up Orion at the Hershy Design Company. You can find them on Facebook by searching HERSHY Design Company. Also by the Sim Speed Shop, simspeedshop.com. You can check them out for all your iRacing sim needs. Ohio IndyCar League jumping on board this season with as an official sponsor of MaxSpeedTV. They are also accepting not just patrons from Ohio, but from all over. Also, iBog for all your iRacing broadcast overlay graphics done specifically by Jason Allison, one of the masters at it. So thank you to Jason. And also, last but not least, Wise Guys. You can check them out at Reverb Nation. That is spelt with a Z. So check them out on Reverb Nation. We would like to thank all of the sponsors at MaxSpeedTV and partners.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MaxSpeedTV. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. I am your host. My name is KR Stolfus, and in the booth with me once again is Randy Post. Mr. Post, how you doing out there tonight?
I'm doing good, KR, and yourself?
Man, I'll tell you what, if I was doing any better, the police would be after me.
Oh, well, that's always a good thing to be sure that, or be safe.
Yep. So tonight we're at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course as these drivers are ripping around this 2.25 mile track here. Right now we're watching John Johnson, and he goes off-road and into the gravel trap, shutting it down before he gets into the wall. But these guys have really been ripping it around this left and right turning course here.
Yeah, definitely takes some of these drivers out of their comfort zone, bringing them to a road course. A lot of them don't really practice road courses. They're used to the ovals, but you got guys like Erik Teske who's running really fast laps tonight, so some people really understand the art of road course racing in these stock cars.
Speaking of fast laps, here's your top 10 lap times right now. K.D. Osmond in second. You mentioned Erik Teske on top of the charts there. Kyle Gilbert in third. Greg Willis fourth. Fifth is David Roach. A.J. Rogers turning in a sixth quick time. Seventh, Chris Berg. Peyton Johnson in eighth. Ninth going to Jeffrey Clifton. And rounding out your top 10 in practice times is John Johnson in that 22. Guys, coming up in 10 seconds, we'll be doing qualifying. tomorrow, make sure you guys tune in once again to MaxSpeedTV as the Dirty Old Bastards will be doing their Knoxville Nationals night number 3. It's the final night of qualifying before the main event on Thursday night. And then Tuesday, August 21st, Racing for a Cause Hershey Design Series will be doing the Blood Clot Awareness 150 at Bristol Motor Speedway. So make sure y'all tune in for that. It's going to be a whale of a race. Qualifying's getting ready to kick off, Randy. Drivers are taking to the track.
Yeah, we got KD Osmond already out on track and getting up to speed. He wasted no time getting out there and getting ready for this race.
Osmond a front runner, and Osmond still looking for his first win on the season, but right now he is in a good spot as far as for points and getting into the championship chase. You know, a win would really seal him. They're only taking 12 drivers to the chase, and right now AJ Rogers, KD Osmond, and Chris Medford, they are without wins, but they are going to make it in on points. And speaking of points, as we look at our points graphic here, you can see Erik Teske, Jerry West, Sean Cool, those guys, multiple race wins. They are really about ready to seal the deal. They still got to make just a handful more of races to finish all of the requirements to be in the chase. And then several drivers with one win already, but starting with Dustin German in 10th, Chris Berg 11th, 12th Jeff Applegren, and 13th Brandon Lawson. Those guys will not be able to make enough races, so they will not be in to that championship, putting their name in the hat for that. So that is why AJ Rogers, KD Osmond, and Chris Medford are in contention for that championship.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, this is the league that they do the points by wins, correct?
Yeah, race wins are everything as far as making it into the chase and getting your position there. So that's why the wins are important. And Erik Teske has 5 wins on the season, picking up his 5th win last week at Watkins Glen. And if practice is anything, it looks like he's the car to beat here again tonight. Maybe gonna make it win number 6.
Yeah, it sure would be. I'm really interested to see, because last week we seen he had a really dominating car by almost seconds. And tonight he was only a couple tenths ahead of everybody else during practice. I'm really hoping we could see some good racing tonight for the lead and possibly a different road course winner.
Anything can happen, especially in lap traffic, but right now we're watching these guys turn a warm-up lap and then their first qualifying lap. Our qualifying is a 10-minute session, 2 laps, and right now we're watching Peyton Johnson in the 85 machine. He's wheeling that thing around right now. His warm-up lap right around 2 minutes. We'll see what he does in as far as his actual time lap. He is on his first time lap right now.
Yeah, he's hitting those marks right now and just trying to get the feel of the track right now so that he can get a really fast lap for that second lap and that, by definition, flyer lap.
Got to take care of your tires, and he's going to cross the line into 5th place for right now. But Erik Teske has topped the charts as far as speed, a 126.645 for his first lap. So far, that one is on pole position.
Yeah, that was faster than he ran earlier in practice as well. In practice, he ran a 127.101, and he turns 126.645 in qualifying. So he kind of makes me wonder if he was holding out a little bit in practice. Hasn't really showed his true colors yet for tonight yet.
KD Osmond in the 88. He is scored in 2nd place for right now, just a little bit behind, and he was 2nd fastest in practice earlier. So, you know, he's holding serve here, proving he might be the one that can topple Erik Teske.
Yeah, let me see here. He's on lap 2, so he's really gotta get her wound up and going here, as he's doing about 100 miles an hour through some of these corners, and that's pretty impressive that he can keep all 4 tires connected to the ground.
Rick Greenaway goes nose first into the wall here on the front stretch. Not sure what happened there, but old Greeny getting confused on the track during qualifying. Right now he's in 8th place. That car's just hard impact into the wall.
Yeah, I'm watching again to see what happened here. Oh, it looks like he gave it a little too much wheel and gas there, and he just got a little bit loose, and it went sliding into the wall head on.
Watching the 52 machine of Tyler Hilton. Right now he is in 10th place. Tyler looking to get a little bit more speed out of it on this lap. With a 133.779, he is about 7 seconds off of our fastest lap time. But you know what? This Mid-Ohio sports car course throws a lot of drivers for a loop, and finding that 7 seconds might just be the fact that he needs to get in some laps and get into a rhythm.
Yeah, I'm trying to work something here because I don't know this track very well, so I'm trying to learn where these guys are on track in comparison to the start-finish line here.
The start-finish line will have the pits by it. So if you find the pits, that'll be where the start-finish line is.
All right, I'll try my best to learn it.
Yeah. Anything after that, you know what? I'm going to be lost all race long, as we do see AJ Rogers pull into the pits here. Rogers is 5th on the speed chart right now in that 17 machine.
I did figure out a little bit of a shape to look at here, but like Erik Teske is going to take the lead for right now, and I don't see anybody else going out on track right now. Couple guys haven't posted times yet, but they might be trying to start in the back with not being as confident on these road courses.
Yeah, the kind of a small field here for tonight. Several of our drivers caught up at work, not able to make it here for the race tonight. So our field not the biggest, but still, you know, for a Tuesday night road course in a mainly oval league, that's still a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, we've got about I think we're talking 17-ish drivers, and at a road course on a Tuesday night, I don't think I'd be making it.
No, I'll tell you what, I'm not very good at Mid-Ohio. Maybe a different road course, you know, like Daytona, where you only turn left.
Yeah, that's for sure. I don't know. I was practicing with these cars on a couple different road courses once, just because I was a little bit bored, and I really like Okayama in these cars. That was a lot of fun to drive.
All right, well, enough chit chat from us. Qualifying winding down, so before we go any further, guys, we're gonna play our national anthem.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Cars are starting to take to the grid here at Mid-Ohio for the Mid-Ohio 100. This group of RFC Racing for a Cause Hershey Design Series drivers starting to form up. That means, well, it's time to go through our starting lineup. Row number 1 will be the 99 of Erik Teske on pole with K.D. Osmond in the 88 machine on his outside. Row number 2 will be Dustin Ping and the 28 of Greg Willis. Row 3, AJ Rogers in the 17 machine and Kyle Gilbert in the 58. Row number 4 will be Chris Berg and David Roach.
Row number 5 is going to be Peyton Johnson and Rick Greenaway. Row 6 is going to be Douglas Wysocki and Tyler Hilton. Row 7 is going to be Hilton Young and John Johnson. Row 8 is going to be Jeffrey Clifton and Douglas Johnson. Row 9 is going to be Nick Zonter. And that's going to round out your field for tonight.
So a small field for tonight. Not going to do a full pace lap as these guys are waiting halfway around the course here. So the pace lap will be a short one. Tonight, we got the official pace car, no longer a Ford Mustang. It's a Porsche, which I'm not sure it's much better than a Mustang.
Oh, I think it'll be able to hold keep it on the track a little bit better than the Mustang would.
Field finally starting to pull away here. As we said, not a full pace lap here, so we're going to just be playing this one by ear. Hopefully everyone will be able to get through as the pace car is peeling off already. Field really starting to get bunched up. Green flag is out, and away we go as Erik Teske getting a jump on the rest of the field on the front stretch. Down into the first turn, making that left-hander, getting ready for another right hand and the, I don't know, horseshoe, whatever you want to call it.
We can, I think we could start making up names for everything.
Yeah, we can call this horseshoe, turn 2 horseshoe.
Turn 2 horseshoe.
So Erik Teske pulling away from K.D. Osmond in the 88. The rest of the field, good battle for 4th spot here. Several cars were side by side, but now it looks like they're going to get it straightened out as they go through a right-hand kink. And cone abuse is going on there. Several cars taking out cones there.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to cut the track a little bit, but getting caught up in them cones, I don't think it's going to hurt them too much to hit those cones.
Peyton Johnson all over the back bumper of the 09 of David Roach. These two on the opening lap here as we see AJ Rogers trying to get way down underneath Kyle Gilbert. But again, you know, Peyton Johnson sideways there, and ooh, Rick Greenaway in the 69, big time sideways as it looked like the cars really got a little bit tail happy going over that hump.
Yeah, any kind of change in direction or surface height, these things really get a little tail happy to where they can really go around real fast. And it happens so fast you didn't even know it happened to you until you're looking the other way at the guys coming forward at you. As Peyton Johnson gets sideways, he's able to take it through the grass and save it, but almost nailed the front end of that car on the wall there.
So the 85 machine losing some ground here. He started 9th, has fallen to 10th place, so not a drastic loss there for him. Kind of a wake-up moment as that was on the opening lap.
Yeah, it was, and hopefully the tires are going to be able to hold up for a couple more laps. As we got quite a few laps before these first pit stops are going to happen.
Speaking of our race analysis here for tonight, we will be doing 38 laps for a total of 85.5 miles. Our tire window is right around 25 laps as Rick Greenaway is going to go off course once again. In our fuel window, we'll see these guys maybe start pitting as early as lap 13, but they can stretch it all the way to lap 18. So quite a bit of fuel strategy to play out here tonight.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to pit at least twice, because I think I was doing the math earlier, and you know how good I am with math, but when I did the calculations, if they can get 18 laps out of it, I think they were going to be 2 laps short, if I'm not mistaken.
We're going to go on board with Kyle Gilbert as he goes down the front stretch into the sweeping, very flat left-hand turn, almost kind of an off-camber turn, down another straightaway, getting through the gears as fast as he can. Going to try and outbrake the 28 of Greg Willis. Willis going to let him have it. Kyle Gilbert down to the inside in the turn 2 horseshoe. Good job there, Kyle Gilbert, on making that pass.
Yeah, he's got the 67 of, or Greg Willis has the 67 of Chris Berg trying to get around him now after he took it into the grass there. A couple other guys to mention, we've got Rick Greenaway back in 13th place, Douglas R. Johnson back in 14th, and Hilton Young back in 15th. Those guys have kind of spread out from the field right now. They just want to take it slow, kind of run their race out here for the points. Maybe not exactly the most confident with these road courses, but they're out here racing and learning as much as they can.
Early stages of the race is a good time to learn where your marks are, learn how deep into a corner you can drive. But then at some point you gotta quit learning and you just gotta really start focus on hitting your marks and start turning the best laps you can.
Absolutely, and that, if you don't think too much about it, you'll definitely have a lot more fun. But it's kind of a nerves thing. You don't want to cause other people to wreck. I totally get it. I drive that way if I don't really feel the course or feel the track as well as I should be able to.
Well, out front, Erik Teske, he is the man on a mission right now. But KD Osmond not letting him get too far away. Osmond, though, is 4.1 seconds back behind him. Erik Teske turning some good laps here. He's going to be the one to watch all night long, very possibly end up in a victory lane. But he's got to get there first.
Yeah, and he's got 35 more laps to do it. Lots of racing at these long road courses. You know, this is all the track is smaller than Daytona, but with all the winding corners and the slow corners, it definitely takes a lot longer to get around this track than it does something like Daytona.
Yeah, and you know, it takes a different skill set for sure. You have to really focus on hitting the same spot, hitting the same marks lap after lap. Not only that, but you got to maintain your tires. You can overcook one corner right away as Erik Teske is coming on to pit road already on lap number 4.
Yeah, it might be a strategy thing if he knows he's going to have to pit twice, to where he's just trying to make it towards the end to where he doesn't have to pit with the rest of the guys that may just be running the full tank as much as they can.
Looks like we have another one. That's the 17 machine of AJ Rogers coming down pit road as well. So a little bit of a early race strategy, and Erik Teske very quick, maybe fuel only there to get him into the next fuel window.
Yeah, and maybe AJ Rogers thinking is, well, I've noticed Erik Teske is super fast, I'm just going to pit when he pits. So that is also a common thought process as well. Erik Teske is going to go back to 7th position after that pit stop, but I have no doubt in my mind that he will start running people down here and getting back those positions real quick.
So that gives the lead to KD Osmond in the 88 machine. Out front for right now. He's a perennial front runner here in racing for a cause, whether it's on the ovals or now on the road courses. So he is looking very stout right now. But it's going to be interesting to see how the pit strategies play out of AJ Rogers and Erik Teske.
Yeah, and I think after last week, I think I can put faith in Erik Teske's plan, as he was very fast last week, and he's turned a lot of really fast laps this week already. But I think when it comes to road course racing, after watching him for 2 weeks now, I think he's got it down.
Chris Berg winding up in a little bit of trouble going off-road there for a moment. Getting it settled now, back onto the road course he goes. Losing a little bit of time. That 99 machine, Erik Teske, he's going to drop off onto the grass just a bit. Look like some more cone abuse. Someone needs to let California know that there's some cones being abused. Maybe they'll find a way to stop that kind of thing. Cone abuse would be illegal. Oh, look, a straw.
But all right, so we're talking about the front runners a little bit here. Let's take a look at Greg Willis in third in the 28 machine. He did start a little bit further back, if I do believe. Yeah,
Willis
he started
in fourth.
He started in fourth. I mean, well, technically that'd be like mid-pack with these things right now as we get a small field. But he's up in third place, running a good race. Kyle Gilbert as well, running a good race. He's in second place right now. David Roach in fourth. So a little bit of spread out racing, as these guys are a couple seconds apart from each other, which you'd really expect to see in these road course races.
Yeah, we're starting to get stretched out, and Erik Teske already back into fifth place, all over the back bumper of the 09 of David Roach. David Roach looking for his first win of the season, and here he comes onto pit road.
Yeah, I think maybe Erik Teske was putting on a little bit more pressure than David Roach wanted. He just kind of took that pit strategy to where he could get out of the way and not really have the pressure of possibly getting wrecked there.
Peyton Johnson in the 85 machine, he has moved up to sixth place now with the varying pit strategies that are going down. A little bit of an early moment for him, getting crossed up, coming across the line to start lap number 2. But he's got himself sorted, maybe cleaned out his shorts, and getting back on that loud pedal here.
Yeah, and a huge part of road course racing, especially in the beginning stages of it, is if you get a little bit out of control, you lose the car a little bit, can't let that sit in the back of your mind. You just got to forget about it and keep going, run the race, because if you're worrying about that, you're going to be taking these corners way too slow and letting people get around you way too easy. So you just got to forget what happened and keep running that race and figure out what is going to make the car stick the most.
Greg Willis in the 28 machine, sitting third with ASPCA on the bumper. Here he comes down pit road. So some early strategies playing out here. A lot of drivers already maybe worked the math from the finish to this point and said, I can pit now and do it on 2 more stops from here. So it's I don't know how I'd want to run it. Maybe I'd want to try and run it all the way, one fuel run. The more fuel you burn, the longer you're going to be on pit road, though.
I think they should only have to make one. Erik Teske, everybody, if they pit from now on or whatever, they should only have to make one pit stop. Erik Teske will definitely be cutting it close as he pitted really early, but I do believe that they'll be able to make it the entire way off of one more pit stop.
With 18 laps being the fuel run, that's kind of a stretch. 18 and 18 is 36. You'd really have to conserve a lot. There's not going to be any yellows out here. So the only way to conserve is really just lay off the throttle and ease into the throttle, get out of it early. And you might have to do it so much that you're going to lose time over those 2 laps.
Right, and Erik Teske pitted on lap 5, so I'd expect him to come in around at the absolute latest, lap 21, and then he should be good for the rest of the race after that. It'll be 17 laps, but boy, it'll be a long 17 laps for him, as he's going to have to save a little bit to make sure it gets to the end.
We go on board with our race leader, Mr. Osmond himself in the 88 machine, down in the horseshoe turn 2. Was it turn 2 horseshoe?
I think it was turn 2 horseshoe.
Turn 2 horseshoe. There we go. Into this back straight, right hand kink. Let's see here. What's he coming up to next? Hold on, folks. It's a surprise. Oh, look, another right hand turn.
Oh, and a left hand turn after that. Can we call that horseshoe turn 4?
I'm not good at counting.
Okay, well, fingers and toes, fingers and toes.
Yeah, I got my shoes on, so.
All right. Chris Berg in the 67 in 5th place, has not pit yet. Running behind Peyton Johnson, maybe trying to get that 4th position as he's going to dive it low out of that turn. I think that's turn 3. Coming through turn 4, and he's running pretty close to him. He should be able to get around him in the coming laps here.
Chris Berg, a race winner in the series in that 67 machine, but unfortunately missing the cutoff to make enough races to be part of the championship contention. But still out here turning some good laps. Like you said, right now he is running in 5th place, but he has not yet made his pit stop.
No, only one person in the top 5 has pitted, and that would be Erik Teske. And everybody else in the top 5 has not pit yet. So in about eight or so laps, we should see them come down pit road.
Back out front, the 88 of KD Osmond. He still has not made his pit stop. And right now he has a 10-second lead over the 99 of Erik Teske. So when Osmond pits, he's not going to have enough time. He will lose a spot to that 99 machine, even if he's on pit road for a very short amount of time. Just traveling down pit lane is longer than 10 seconds here.
Right, and Erik Teske has made room or picked up time on these guys. I don't think he picked up tires. I think he just did fuel. He may have gotten 2 tires, but I don't think it was long enough to really take 2 tires. So it might be just running on the same tires and just knowing the line and how well these tires can handle it.
Yeah, he did not take tires. He only took fuel, and after completing only 4 laps, he was on pit road or in his pit stall for 5 seconds. So a very quick pit stop overall. Maybe not a bad strategy, but KD Osmond might be trying to run the reverse. He might stretch this as far as he can, make his one long pit stop, and then at the end of the race make his very short, very quick pit stop and get back out there.
Well, if KD Osmond can save a lot in this one and save those 2 laps possibly to where he goes 20 laps, he should be able to run a normal pace and finish the race. I mean, he would cross the line with a sputtering, but it is possible, I do believe.
Be a big risk, big reward, though, as he would be picking up his first win on the season. Might not be a bad idea to try and go for it there, especially with the points buffer he has. As I mentioned earlier in this broadcast, he's got the points, not necessarily locked in by points, but sitting very well as far as points, and getting into the chase. Might not be a bad idea to try and throw one away to gamble on a win here.
Right, and if you desperately need a win, I mean, you got to try everything you can to get it.
Right now, all we can do is speculate. We got to watch this race unfold, but that 99 machine of Erik Teske, he's pulled into 2nd spot now after getting around Kyle Gilbert in the 58.
Yeah, and he last I looked, he was about 10 seconds behind KD Osmond, and he's now about just over 9 seconds. So he's gaining time on KD Osmond, and like we were just talking about, if I'm KD Osmond, I'm going to try that. Try to see how long I can stretch this run if I'm noticing that he's getting that much time on me that quick.
It's all fun and games till someone runs out of fuel, but we'll see how it plays out. And in the meantime, we're riding on board with Kyle Gilbert. You can see the 99 of Erik Teske working through these corners just ahead of Gilbert. As Gilbert got a little sideways there, gathered it up, kept her going.
Yeah, I'm watching the 85 and the 67 of Peyton Johnson and Chris Berg right now. They're still battling it out for that 4th position. Peyton Johnson really kind of sticking to his guns and running his line, and Chris Berg cannot get around him from what it looks like here. No lap traffic around him anymore as they got by those guys, but they're battling pretty hard. I'm kind of curious if they're using a little bit more of the equipment and fuel, trying to keep those positions, or if they're just kind of running around doing a Sunday drive kind of thing next to each other.
We're gonna ride on board with Chris Berg as he tries to find a chink in the armor of that 85. Ooh, is Berg gonna get some wheel spin trying to get the power down coming out of the final corner onto that front stretch? Gathers it back into that left-hander, now on another front stretch here, getting ready to go into turn 2, the turn 2 horseshoe.
Turn 2 horseshoe. I think that's gonna become. I think we could trademark that.
Stamp a trademark on it, and I'll take royalties for that.
All right, try to find some somebody else to watch here. Everybody's so far spread out. These guys, Peyton Johnson and Chris Berg, are the closest ones together to each other.
The 44 machine of Dustin Ping. Haven't got to talk about him yet tonight. Dustin Ping running a very interesting Ford Mustang paint scheme. Kind of like the way that thing looks in that 44 machine.
Yeah, it looks pretty sharp on there. We do know that NASCAR just announced the Mustang to come to Monster Energy Series next year, so maybe that's what he's trying to do is say, hey, this is really cool. We got a Mustang again.
Oh, great. NASCAR decided they had too many fans in the crowds. You know Mustangs are known for running over people in crowds.
Once in a while, yep.
All you gotta do is go to a car show.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Doug Wysocki in the 45 machine running a unique paint scheme here tonight. White, yellow, and hot pink. Those colors really kind of just leave a taste in your mouth. He's coming down pit road now. He's got it woed down quite a bit, actually. Looked like maybe he thought he was speeding as he almost brought it to a stop. Doug Wysocki in the 45 on pit road. A race winner earlier this season. So he's out having a good old time.
Yeah, absolutely. Pit road speed is 45 miles an hour. I just double checked, so maybe he just wanted to be sure. I know I get a little bit scared every time I come to the pits and I hear a little bit of a beep or something like that telling me I'm going too fast, so I'll always get her woed way down and then speed back up.
The 69 of Rick Greenaway overshooting a corner, going way off-road. He has got that machine straightened out, back on track, and he is scored one lap down in 14th place right now.
And he's got I gotta pay attention here. He's got the 58 of Kyle Gilbert right behind him, as well as the 17 of AJ Rogers. Those guys are closing in on the 4th and 5th positions, or 3rd and 4th position, as Peyton Johnson and Chris Berg are now 3rd and 4th. So Kyle Gilbert and AJ Rogers starting to catch up to Erik Teske and Peyton Johnson and Chris Berg. We may have a 4-way battle for 3rd here soon.
AJ Rogers still looking for his first win of the season, as Rick Greenaway is going to get really crossed up right in front of Rogers. No harm, no foul there. Just a little bit of sideways action, but that 17 machine able to get around the 69er Rick Greenaway and sets his sights on Kyle Gilbert in the 58.
Yeah, I'm excited for this this possible four-way battle for third place that we might have coming. I know Kyle Gilbert's on really fresh tires compared to these other guys that are on 15 lap old tires, so he's got a little bit of an edge, and he might be able to run them down, but he's still got to get around them cleanly, and this track isn't exactly the widest at points to try and do that for like trying to outbrake him in the corners.
Kyle Gilbert all over the back bumper of 67 Chris Berg, and Berg making a move on the 85 of Peyton Johnson, as Peyton Johnson's going to peel off for pit road here.
Yep, 15 laps and he came in. So did a bunch of different strategies coming. Seen some pit on lap 5. We've seen some pit on lap 15. So kind of cool to see all the different strategies unfolding throughout this race.
John Johnson in the 22 machine started 14th. Right now he is running in 10th place. He has not made a pit stop yet so far. And again, he is going to drive right on past that pit entrance and complete another lap. But John Johnson moving up through the field here a little bit. Right now running in 10th place.
Trying to figure out if anybody else. Oh, we do have Tyler Hilton down pit road right now. He's been down pit road for about a minute, so he might have spun out and caught the wall a little bit. Let's see if I can see any damage on his car. No damage that I see, so he might be taking a break for a second and come back and get back out on the track.
Well, they did have one fast repair available as we back it up a little bit. Ooh, as he does spin out trying, I'm sorry, that is Tyler Hilton, yeah. Spun out trying to get onto pit entrance, and word is he had a steering issue, had to recalibrate his wheel.
Oh wow, that's crazy. That really stinks for him. I'm not 100% sure where he was running all night. He started in 12th position, but I think he was one of them that was just trying to go out there and run the race and have fun, but that really stinks to have equipment failure like that.
Tyler Hilton can put this 52 machine out front. He's given it a heck of a run on several of the ovals, but this road course, especially if you got a steering wheel issue, it's not agreeing with him tonight. He is running 15th, 2 laps down.
Yeah, and I'm watching the 8 of Douglas Johnson. He did just go 1 lap down. Or no, that was Katie Osmond passing him. He's in 2nd, so he's been a lap down, but Katie Osmond gets around him pretty easy as a lap car. Doug Johnson letting him by. As he should be coming down pit road within the next 2 laps, as he's got 16 laps on this stint here.
Chris Berg in the 67 machine. He is going to stay out for another lap. You know, if you can eliminate a pit stop here, you're going to save yourself a lot of time, but I'm not sure it's worth it in the long run, because that is going to have to take a lot of a slow pace. But Chris Berg in the 67 not yet making his pit stop. The other one that has not made a pit stop is John Johnson, and John Johnson in 10th place. He is the last car on the lead lap, so we'll see how well it works out for him.
Hilton Young also, no, yeah, he also hasn't made a pit stop, as he is 2 laps down right now. Has not pit yet.
Meanwhile, it's been a while since we talked about him, but out front, that 99 machine of Erik Teske, he has been out on track for 14 laps now. Did not take tires on his first pit stop. So he's running this one on a full fuel run. He is out front with a 24.9 second lead over KD Osmond in the 88.
And I was gonna say, after watching him last week, I think he's able to handle this car, whether it's fast with grippy tires or slow with not so grippy tires. And this track is seeming to be a little less nasty on the tires. As last week we were at Watkins Glen, and they've got the bus stop and the fast S's. These guys are running a little bit slower through some of these corners than they were last week at Watkins Glen, so the tires might not be getting eaten up as fast here at Mid-Ohio.
It is a little bit of a slower track compared to Watkins Glen, but you can still destroy your tires if you really, get after it for 2 laps, your qualifying session, so to speak. If you tried to turn qualifying laps, you can really burn through your tires quickly and have a very, very tough time keeping it on track after that.
Yeah, John Johnson coming down pit road right now. Chris Berg did just pit. Let's see. Everybody has come down pit road now except for Hilton Young.
Tyler Hilton in the 52 machine. He is in the 15th spot. Is the 38 of Hilton Young. Very slow. Thought maybe he might have been out of fuel, but he's got it going. So we have 19 laps to go. That 38 machine definitely in trouble here, as he is very, very slow right now.
Douglas Wysocki coming down pit road again. We had just seen him come down not too long ago, so this might be a pit strategy to try and make it to the end here on like a short pit kind of thing.
David Roach hitting pit road as well. You see him coming down pit lane in that 09 machine. But out front, the 99 of Erik Teske. He is on his 15-lap stint. 18 laps should be about the longest anyone can go. Some guys have started to stretch it maybe into lap 19. But we should be seeing Erik Teske coming on pit road here. Our fuel window for your final pit stop is about ready to open up here this lap.
Yeah, and I was just looking at the gaps right now. KD Osmond is about 26.349 seconds behind Erik Teske. Maybe he's trying to get a little bit more time in between them, so when he comes down pit road and spends a total of 28 seconds down pit road with getting fuel and tires or whatever he needs, he doesn't have to push the car as hard to try and get back to that front position. So he's trying to, it seems to me like he's trying to get a little bit more of a gap between those two, so he doesn't have to push the car as hard to get back up there.
The 28, Greg Willis, he is hitting pit road along with the 17 of AJ Rogers. These guys both coming on pit road at the same time as they are in a battle for 4th and 5th spot. Good pit stops have to be had here. Get it full of fuel, hit your marks, and get back out there. Left side tires going on, right side tires coming on. Yeah, we'll just pretend I said that correctly.
I do want to know, we have run over half this race already, and man, it's just ticked by so fast. As Erik Teske is going to come down pit road this time, and man, he came down pit road flying. He must have been practicing that, because it was perfect.
That 99 machine digging deep, getting on the pit road, trying to make all the time he can. This is going to be a full pit stop, full of fuel, so we'll probably take tires here. And the car does go up on jacks, so get the tires on it and then get back out there. We'll see him try and set some more blistering laps around this Mid-Ohio sports car course.
And he spent about 34.8 seconds on pit lane. KD Osmond did come down the exact same time, so he's not going to have to worry about pushing the car, like I said, as well as Kyle Gilbert did come down that time. again, so Erik Teske is not going to have to worry about pushing the car to get back up front.
Dustin Ping in the 44, he's hit pit road as well. So again, final pit stops happening here. We might see a few drivers who have a little bit of a different strategy, but it looks like almost everyone really going to come in here at this time, as Dustin Ping going to overshoot his pit box and have a hard time getting into his pit stall.
A couple people staying out. Peyton Johnson just drove by pit lane. He's on his 6th lap of this stint. It would not surprise me to see him come down as Rick Greenaway shoots that corner back there and gets way out of shape. Coming back onto the track, it looked like he lost a couple positions to nope, he didn't lose any positions. The 52 is a lap ahead of him, I do believe. Nope,
Tyler
he's a
Hilton
lap.
in the 52
He's a
is
lap down.
From
He's a lap
Rick
down.
Greenaway.
Yep, no position change there.
Want to talk about the 8 machine of Doug Johnson real quick. Started 16th, right now he's running 13th. He has been on pit road 3 laps ago, and with the pace that Erik Teske is putting out there, Doug Johnson may have made his last pit stop. He is 1 lap down, running in 13th. We'll see if this car can get any more positions, as he's in a race with the 69 for 12th spot, but he's got to catch up to him first.
Yeah, and he almost got really loose there. Well, he got really loose and he was able to collect it. And that just goes to show how crazy these cars can be under power when you're going through those S corners like that. And a little bit of a weight shift can really snap these things out of control. And he's gotten 3 laps on this stint, so it's not like it's old tires and he's just getting loose on those tires that are getting out of shape. But it just kind of shows as he goes around that corner again, gets a little bit loose, how crazy these cars are.
Yep, it doesn't take a lot also to make your tires mad at you, and once they get mad at you, they're gonna, throw up an argument every time you try and turn a corner or put the power down or do any number of things. They'll just keep arguing with you till you're able to cool them down.
Oh yeah, and that's absolutely true. Sometimes you can be at 50% throttle, and if those tires are mad at you, they're gonna snap loose and you're gonna go all over the place.
Out front though, K.D. Osmond in 2nd place. He is now almost 30 seconds behind our race leader. And we don't mean that as a slam on K.D. Osmond. That 99 machine is just flat out getting it done out here tonight, hitting his marks lap after lap and laying down some of the fastest laps consistently time and time again.
Absolutely, and there's something to be said about guys that hit their marks consistently like that without making a mistake. It takes so much focus. You can't be thinking about anything else other than the race. The second you start veering your thoughts away from the race, be it pit stops or where everybody else is, how far back, you just need to go out there, run your line, and hit those marks as best as you can. And it's almost a guarantee if you do that without worrying about any of the other stuff, there's a very good shot that you have a win.
That 99 machine coming around to put the 8 of Doug Johnson another lap down, as we have Hilton Young in the 38 on the pit road. He's been on there for a little bit of time now, so maybe trying to hammer out some damage there. We'll see if he can get back out on track.
Yep. I'm just catching up here a little bit. Ooh, we got the 52 of Tyler Hilton. Overshot the corner and went into the sand trap. Able to get out of it and get back on track here without collecting anybody and damaging the car at all. So good job on him for not collecting anybody in it.
So the 52 getting out of shape, but as you say, getting back after it, getting that car back under power there. He is running 14th place as Hilton Young in the 38 machine has packed it up and pushed it behind the wall. He will be scored in 15th place. 16th place is going to go to Jeffrey Clifton in that 15 machine, and Nick Zotner will end up with a 17th finishing spot in the 93 machine.
Yeah, Hilton Young taking it behind the wall. I'm not 100% sure if it was just he's getting tired or what's happening. I know working that wheel so much can be really what's the word for it? Grueling in terms of putting that much stress on your body to get this car around this track 38 times tonight.
With 13 laps to go, David Roach running in 6th place in the 09 machine. But right behind him is the 85 of Peyton Johnson. And Johnson running in 7th place on a little bit older tires here. Johnson was last on pit road 9 laps ago. So he's going to have to either find a way to stretch his fuel, or he might be making one more pit stop.
Yeah, I think he is the only one. Trying to do some quick math here. Yeah, I think he's the only one that might have to make another pit stop. Except we do have Rick Greenaway. He did just come off pit road, so.
Rick Greenaway in the 69 on and off pit road. We'll watch this guy, see if he overshoots any more corners. And Preston Hilton in YouTube chat, that's Tyler Hilton, yes, in the race, broke his steering wheel.
Yeah, I'm trying to read it here real quick.
Out front, the 99 machine of Erik Teske, now 31.7 seconds ahead of KD Osmond in the 88 machine. We're going to ride on board now with Teske. We'll take you for a lap as we watch this guy work his magic here. Down into the corner here, clipping the apron. Friends don't let friends apex early. And Erik Teske doing a great job so far of not really hitting that apex too soon. Getting the power down very nice and smooth.
Yeah, I'm watching Erik Teske run his line here, and it is absolutely flawless. You can see the rear end getting really loose, and he's just, it looks like he doesn't even notice it. He's just driving the daylights out of this car, and it is so fun to watch. Just how flawless it is.
Flicking that car around these corners, very light and nimble, like a cat, all nimbly mimbly.
All nimbly bimbly like. I do want to give a huge shout out to Tyler Hilton. He put something in chat that it takes a lot to say, and he said he didn't want to take out a leader, and he was just going to be a cause. He was becoming just a wrecking ball out there, and it takes a lot to recognize, and just it takes a lot to tell yourself, all right, I'm done. I don't want to take out a leader, and I just got to give a huge shout out to him for doing that.
It does take kind of a smart man's decision to do that sometimes. You know what? I can't do it. I'm not that smart.
I guess we could say it this way: it takes more brain than brawn to make that decision.
Yeah, there you go. 17 machine of AJ Rogers. Right now he is in 4th place, but right behind him is the 28 of Greg Willis. Greg trying to track him down. These guys on the same pit strategy. They are in a race to the finish now, as AJ Rogers is going to overshoot the entrance to the turn 2 horseshoe. The 28 of Greg Willis closing that gap on him just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm back here watching Chris Berg right now, John Johnson is about a minute behind him, and Dustin Ping about 1.5 seconds ahead of him. But he's running a good line. He's kind of overshooting him a little bit, it looks like, but he's able to collect it and still keep it on the track without going too far off the track there when he's going through these corners. He's really pushing it as hard as he can.
Chris Berg in the 67 last car on the lead lap. Right now he is in 9th place. John Johnson still in 10th place in that 22 machine, but he has gone a lap down.
Yep.
Trying to see what else we got here going on.
Ooh, I've got Greg Willis and AJ Rogers in a battle. I know we might have just been talking about it, but always good to have somebody that's close. And Peyton Johnson and David Roach are pretty close to each other.
Watching Greg Willis in the ASPCA machine do battle with the 17 of AJ Rogers, who's sporting the Hub used sim giveaway. That 17 machine leaving that door open. Greg Willis for a moment thought about diving it down in there, just not able to get there. Now he's got a great run down the straightaway. AJ Rogers looks like he's going to let him have it.
Yeah, and man, he's kind of put it in there. It looks so clean, getting in there and getting around AJ Rogers there.
AJ Rogers in 5th place now. Coming into tonight's event, second most accumulated points in this series, but not able to pick up a win. He is looking to be into this chase and doing it by points, but you know, 3 people getting a win or 4 people getting a win, their first win in the season, could upset that dynamic for him if he's not one of them.
Absolutely. I'm still watching Erik Teske a little bit here, kind of checking in on him. He's still up front. He's still running really fast laps and still looking like a wheelman up here.
His fastest lap is a 1:27.171. His last lap ran was a 1:28.9. So losing a little bit of time, but you know, the track, as laps get turned on them, they get a little bit slower, they get a little bit hotter, but still only about a second fall off. That's not too bad, as this time he turned a 1:27.475, so only 0.3. Man, I'll tell you what, that's not a lot of fall off at all.
No, it really isn't, especially on a hot track. As I'm looking right now, the track's about right around 90 degrees, and that's pretty hot for asphalt and rubber to mix. So almost to the point where you come around some of those corners at a high speed, it's just like kind of like a butter knife at butter, and it'll just scrape some of the rubber off. It's crazy.
The 69 of Rick Greenaway in trouble, going for a spin, getting into the tire barrier. We're going to back this up a little bit, see what happened with our MaxSpeedTV replay. Rick Greenaway in the 69, right behind the 58 of Kyle Gilbert. Not a race for position, as Kyle Gilbert is on the lead lap, running in 3rd place. And here comes the 69 of Rick Greenaway. Watching to see when exactly he loses it, going over the hill. Car gets light as he tries to put the power down, and into the tire wall he goes.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. He was learning. He was running faster laps, and I don't want to say learning, but he was getting more acquainted with the track, and you see him kind of overshoot the corner a little bit there, but he had someone on his inside trying to let him by a little bit there, because they were clearly faster and doing a good job.
That 69 machine really starting to look like a wadded up soda can now. He is still out there chugging along, and it looks like maybe something has happened to the 17 of AJ Rogers. He has let the 69 go by, but now the 69's in trouble. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Maybe AJ Rogers Thinks he can't make it on fuel?
I don't know. He's got 10 laps on these tires, and he's on lap 31. Oh, we had the 69 of Rick Greenaway gets really loose and overshot that corner really hard, kind of like Tokyo drifted it.
Gathers it back in, gets back on the throttle. Man, I'll tell you what, that guy, he's probably glad it's a sim, because if this was real life, he would be buying a new fire suit. He'd have to be buying his body shop crew a whole bunch of donuts. Here he comes down to pit road. We'll see if he's going to hammer out some more damage or if he's going to call it a night here.
I don't know. He's doing about 70 miles an hour through the pits right now, and last time I checked, pit road speed was about 45. So he's definitely going to be sitting there for a little bit.
So Rick Greenaway on pit road. Meanwhile, out front, Erik Teske, but second place, the 88, KD Osmond, solidly in second place. He's got a 15-second lead or gap back to Kyle Gilbert in third, but he is now 38.5 seconds behind Erik Teske.
Yeah, Erik Teske is running an absolutely awesome race tonight. I don't know how many times we could say that, but my hat's off to him tonight for sure. He's just constantly running these fast laps, and when we talked about it last time, he had run a 128.3 or something like that, and his last lap was a 127.9. So he's getting faster on these old tires.
Yeah, he's definitely picking up speed from time to time. And a lot of it has to do with when he catches lap traffic as well. So, but I gotta say, his laps very, very consistent.
Absolutely, and that's one of the many things it takes to be a winner at a road course like this.
Well, I had a train of thought, and then it decided to abandon me, and now I don't know what to say.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm trying to look here and see what's going on. We've got the 44 of Dustin Ping, about 0.8 seconds off of the 09 of David Roach. Dustin Ping in that oh so pretty Mustang that we were talking about a little bit ago.
Looking out the back of David Roach's machine, looking at that 44 of Dustin Ping. These guys with 5 laps to go. The battle is really starting to heat up for 6th spot. This is for 6th and 7th place. Dustin Ping in 7th. He is the last car on the lead lap right now, as Peyton Johnson in 8th has gone a lap down. Chris Berg in 9th in the 67 machine. And John Johnson rounding out your top 10. He is in 10th.
Yeah. John Johnson. So we've got 7 cars on the lead lap. Peyton Johnson being the first one a lap down. It's really unfortunate because he was up front really early. And I think it was due to what we were talking about earlier with that pit stop, because he did just come off pit road, and that might have been what put him a lap down. So a little bit more of a strategy, and he should be back on the lead lap if pending the whole, you know what I mean, the pit stop strategy thing.
Peyton Johnson trying to find a shortcut through the grass, but not quite working out too well for him. Onto the front stretch he comes, putting the power down with all those 4 tires being used down into that left-hander. Turn number 1, heading for turn 2, the horseshoe.
Turn 2, the horseshoe.
the horseshoe that is turn 2.
Yes. Katie Osmond is about 42 seconds back, and you know, I don't want to call it race, but it would take almost a blown motor for Erik Teske to really give this thing up to Katie Osmond. It's just so far spread out, and Kyle Gilbert being 14.8 seconds behind Katie Osmond, same thing. Something big would have to happen for these guys to change around that 1, 2, 3 position.
That would. Any number of things can happen. Driver could go spinning off track and get right in front of our leader and wipe him out and ruin his race right there.
Dustin Ping did just go one lap down as he overshot a corner, and I think Erik Teske got by him as he overshot the corner a little bit. AJ Rogers going a lap down. I do believe David Roach should be the next one, as Erik Teske is coming up on him pretty quick here. Coming down turn 1, or no, that's turn 2, the horseshoe.
Rogers on pit road for the final time with 3 laps to go. Rogers falling all the way back to 8th place. Getting back up to speed though. He has got Peyton Johnson in his sights. Might have enough time to track him down.
Absolutely. AJ Rogers definitely could get to Peyton Johnson with a couple overshot corners. I doubt it would be hard to get right up on the bumper of Peyton Johnson there.
David Roach moving out of the way of our leader Erik Teske. Put David Roach 1 lap down in that 09 machine. That will give us 4 cars on this lead lap. So we got 3 laps to go.
And I think last week, didn't Erik Teske lap almost the entire field? I think just second place was on the lead lap, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I think we had 3 or 4 cars on the lead lap last week at Watkins Glen.
I'm not 100% sure, but I know it was almost a spitting image to this.
As I swallow my quote-unquote water, yes, it was another dominating performance by the 99 of Erik Teske last week. And, man, I'll tell you what, these road courses, most of these drivers will be glad to get away from the road course, get back to the oval, because they just have nothing for this 99 machine on the road courses. But on the ovals, he's a little bit more vulnerable. Vulnerable? Okay, that had 3 syllables. Okay, you got to give me a break there.
Words. But yeah, I'm really excited to see who's going to come out next week. Being back on an oval, who's going to be the star in the shining light next week? And is Erik Teske going to come out next week and win 3 in a row, possibly, if he takes home the victory tonight with about 2 laps to go here? Is he going to bring home the victory tonight and then come out and try and win 3 in a row? Or are we going to have somebody like Peyton Johnson come out and win next week, or Rick Greenaway, who's struggled a little bit tonight? So many other guys. Katie Osmond could be a huge pick for next week.
Final lap for the 99 and the rest of this field as the white flag is fallen for Erik Teske. One final time around this mid-Ohio sports car coast. I'll tell you what, here we go, right-hander. That is turn 2, called the horseshoe. Man, we got, all right. Ooh, man, it looked like Teske was sideways coming off that horseshoe as he engages the DRS at that sign. Of course, NASCAR doesn't have DRS. I was being facetious.
That'd be cool if they did. I say we start chalking up ideas and sending them to NASCAR.
Oh, dude, I got all kinds of ideas for NASCAR. One of which includes
not putting you in the booth.
Oh, come on.
Dale Jr. took your job. I'm sorry.
Oh, please. I'm just as good as Dale Jr. My vocabulary is probably just about as much as his. I can say slide job all day.
Absolutely.
Final lap for Erik Teske, bringing this thing around. Katie Osmond running in second, solidly in second. Kyle Gilbert holding on to 3rd place very solidly as well. Greg Willis in 4th. Final corner for the 99 machine. Erik Teske on the front stretch for the final time. Call it a race win, call it what you want, but that 99 machine, dominating performance, checkered flag, give the race win to Erik Teske.
Now the real question is he going to have enough fuel to get back around and do a bunch of burnouts?
That would be an interesting question. We'll have to ask him and watch. Now we gotta wait for the rest of the field to come to the start-finish line. KD Osmond in the 88 machine. Looks like he is going to be in second place here. Like I said, very solidly in second place.
Absolutely. With Kyle Gilbert 14.4 seconds back, I think he's got this, as long as he makes this corner, and he does, he's got second place wrapped up for tonight. Good job for him tonight and running an awesome race tonight.
Osmond across the line in second. Here comes Kyle Gilbert for the final time on the front stretch for him. And across the line he goes. That 58 machine scored in third. 28 of Greg Willis. Looking very steady here for the final time. Down through the final right-hand series of turns and then the quick left-hand turn. Greg Willis gonna cross the line, and here he is in fourth place in that 28 machine.
Peyton Johnson. Oh, I think, did Erik Teske run out of fuel?
Couldn't tell you. Maybe Peyton Johnson just trying to help him get around. But it wouldn't surprise me if that 99 is out of fuel.
Well, I don't know, because Peyton Johnson's still trying to get to the finish line to finish this race.
We'll have to ask him. Guys, we're going to step away, get set up for our post-race show. Nobody go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As Erik Teske has enough fuel in the tank to burn it down. Congratulations, Erik, in that 99 machine. You go back-to-back race wins here on the road courses. What does this mean for the rest of the field now as we're going to get back into the ovals here before too long?
Well, you know, ovals is something different comparing with road course. So, you know, it's usual suspects will be there. But I just ran out of fuel. You know, they're gonna beat me on the ovals for sure, and I need to hang on. That's the only thing I can do. Maybe I can prep a top 5, maybe a win. But mainly the other cars around me are quicker than me, so they're a huge favorite. So my winning streak will end here probably at the moment.
It was a great race here tonight for you. Both road courses dominating performances. What's your secret to be so fast on these left and right hand turn tracks thingies?
Well, first of all, just being European. Now, without a joke, you know, I mean, like, it's a whole different thing. I grew up on road courses, so, you know, that's where you start here. And I think that's just, you know, it's a part of my part of my skills. I don't know how to explain it. You know, I'm used to it. People around me, maybe they run once or twice a race on the road course. So it's a lot of experience difference between everyone else.
All right, man. Well, again, congratulations on your race win. Any sponsors, thank you, shout outs you'd like to give?
I just want to thank everyone around me, and also want to thank the Autism Awareness for being on my car again. And I just want to thank Troy, Rick for the amazing job they're doing. I just want to, thanks everyone for the great race we had. I saw some big battles going on, by the way, so I love it to see it.
Great racing all throughout the field, but no one could top Erik Teske, our race winner in the 99 machine. Congratulations, and back to back on the road courses, but the ovals, we're gonna have to, find another gear for those.
Oh boy, we're gonna have some fun next week in Bristol.
That we will. All right, Erik Teske, thank you very much. And now Randy Post has caught up with our second place finisher. That is Mr. Osborne.
All right, Mr. Osborne, congrats on second place tonight. We saw you ran pretty much in the top 5 all night. Can you tell me how you came up with the strategy and how you were going to run in the top 5 almost all night long tonight?
Well, during practices all week, I was usually first or second since Erik hasn't been in them. So basically, I came into the race with 2 plans. Plan A was if Erik was here, I was going to race and finish second, and Plan B was if Erik didn't show, so I'd race and win. But, Plan A worked out, so that's good.
All right, well, did you think you had anything for Erik?
No, not at all. Once I saw he was in the practice before the race, I knew it was over.
No faith, so it was a run for second place tonight, huh?
Yeah, basically. I was surprised I was that close to him since I was 2 seconds off his pace last week, but this week was a good track for me.
Absolutely. We definitely saw a lot more close racing versus last week, but we don't want to keep you here all night. Do you have any sponsor shout-outs you'd like to make?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my grandma. She's always watching me every week. My aunt and uncle, they're watching. You guys at MaxSpeedTV for the broadcasts, and everyone at RFC, because it wouldn't happen without them.
All right, well, congrats again on the second place finish tonight, and I think KR has caught up with the third place finisher of Kyle Gilbert.
That I have. Kyle Gilbert, you end up third out here tonight. A little different pit strategy from time to time from the leaders. How reliant were you on your strategy to help get you into third place?
I just wanted to get away from all the other cars. I seemed like in practice the mistakes I would make would be when I was around other cars. So I stayed out a little longer than everybody else did on that first stint. And I think I pitted on lap 13. I came out, got behind AJ and managed to get back around him. First I made a couple passes at the first couple laps of the race to get into, I think it was third place, and I was fourth place, and Greg had a little mishap there, and I was able to get around him. But the first pit stop was my decision, and then Erik and KD pitted before I thought they were going to, so I pitted when I decided to pit when Erik went in, and it worked out.
Well, great race. Good strategy. You end up in third place here tonight. An eventful race. What is your impressions here of the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Complex?
It's fun. I really like it. It's a whole different beast than Watkins Glen and Sonoma. It's the only thing it's similar to Sonoma is how hilly it is, but it's not even close to speed Sonoma is. But it's all about tire management and staying out of the gas whenever you're going over a hill so you don't lose your rear end. I'm nowhere close to Erik out. It's a fun track.
All right, Kyle. Well, third place. Any sponsor shout-outs, thank yous you'd like to give?
I'd like to thank my teammates at Rebellion Racing. Mark doesn't have this track, so he wasn't able to be here tonight. And I'd like to thank my sponsor, Top Flight Computers.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for sticking around for the post-race interview. We appreciate it, and congratulations on your third place finish.
Thank you. I'm excited to be back in the interview.
All right, that was Kyle Gilbert. As you know what, that is about it for us here. As I try to get caught up on everything I thought I was doing, but well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and go through our results. In first place was Erik Teske in that 99 machine. Second place going to KD Osmond in the 88. Kyle Gilbert ending up in third. We got to talk to all three of our podium finishers. Greg Willis was fourth, and rounding out your top five was David Roach in the 09. In sixth place was Dustin Ping. AJ Rogers ending up seventh. Peyton Johnson ending up eighth. Ninth place going to Chris Berg. And rounding out your top 10 was John Johnson. Now I'm going to trust Randy Post to do some more counting and take us the rest of the way through this results page.
All right, 11th is going to go to Douglas Wysocki. 12th is going to go to Douglas Johnson. 13th, Rick Greenaway. 14th, Tyler Hilton. 15th is going to go to Hilton Young. 16th, Jeffrey Clifton. And 17th, Nick Zonter. That is going to round out tonight's field.
Man, Randy, you did a great job. You did all your numbers right tonight.
Hey, my little notebook helped me.
Well, congratulations on that. Hey, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Randy, final thoughts?
I had a blast watching this race. I'm actually thinking about running a couple laps around it myself right now.
All right, man, I'll tell you what, it is a tricky track to drive. You ought to try it in the Skip Barber. That's a fun one, along with the Formula Renault. I enjoyed doing those series here. So, guys, that will wrap it up for us here at Max Speed TV. My name is KR Stolfus. Randy Post, thank you very much for joining me. And, guys, until next time, don't forget, tomorrow, Wednesday, we will be doing the Knoxville Nationals with the Dirty Old Bastards, night number 3, the final night to qualify for their main event. Make sure you tune in. Other than that, guys, have a good night.
MaxSpeed TV would like to thank our partners here at MaxSpeed TV, starting with the Colby Eye Paints. If you're in the market for a new paint job for your car, check out Colby's Eye Paints on Facebook. Need a replica paint of your real-life car? Colby's Eye Paints has you covered. Check out Colby Eye Paints on Facebook. Also by Hershy Design. Hershy Design Company is your one-stop graphics shop if you're in need of an iRacing paint, league, team, or business logo, or want the logo on some sweet swag. Hit up Orion at the Hershy Design Company. You can find them on Facebook by searching HERSHY Design Company. Also by the Sim Speed Shop, simspeedshop.com. You can check them out for all your iRacing sim needs. Ohio IndyCar League jumping on board this season with as an official sponsor of MaxSpeed TV. They are also accepting not just patrons from Ohio, but from all over. Also iBog for all your iRacing broadcast overlay graphics done specifically by Jason Allison, one of the masters at it. So thank you to Jason. And also, last but not least, Wise Guys. You can check them out at Reverb Nation. That is spelt with a Z. So check them out on Reverb Nation. We would like to thank all of the sponsors at MaxSpeed TV and partners.